Hi guys, it's Madeline here with another video. This is not one of my new thing recap videos, but instead this is a special video. It is one of my new things, new thing number 21. I am doing a story time, and I've seen story time videos on YouTube before, and I wanted to do a little bit of a twist on mine. I'm going to tell you guys a story about something that happened to me while I was in New York, and I'm going to wear a face mask while doing it. So the story is going to last as long as this face mask does. First off, the face mask that I am using is the Sephora Banana Cream Mask. There you go. I've never tried this before, so this is a new thing by itself, and then I'm doing a story time, which is another new thing, and I'm excited to get started. First thing I'm doing is I'm going to apply the face mask. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Madeline. I've got a lot of other videos where I have been trying new things every day for 365 days. It smells like banana. It's very yellow. I did a big audition and I took some workshops and had a good time. I think I'm going to make a future video where I give some guidance to people who are new to the A1 conference. Right now, I have a story time for you guys about a taxi driver named Moses and me getting lost in the Big Apple. Story starts on Lafayette Street at Playwrights Horizons downtown, where I had taken a workshop at the A1 conference. It's been a very long day. It was about 6 o'clock. It had started snowing. I had gotten out of my workshop. I had decided that I wanted to go to the Glossier store. Is it Glossier or Glossier? It is Glossier. Great. Which was a little ways down the street on Broadway. I'm a fan of Glossier products, and I wanted to see the beautiful millennial pink utopia that they had at their freestanding store. So I walked like all the way down Broadway. It was beautiful. I saw all of these great storefronts and all these lights, and it was snowing and it was really lovely, and I was all bundled up. And I get there after walking, I think like 3/4 of a mile or something, and there's a line out the door to get in, and there's security that's letting people in as people leave. The line's pretty long. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't care that much. So I left, and I went to go take the Q train. And this is where my problems began. I get on the Q train, and it's the Q train going downtown and not uptown. I end up all the way in Brooklyn, realize the mistake I've made, and then get on the uptown Q train. I have called my mom and let her know what's going on, that I'm a little bit lost. She's worried sick about me, of course, and my phone is about 5% battery. I ride the Q train express all the way from like the first stop in Brooklyn all the way to 96th Street. And I get off, and I did not realize the difference between East 96th Street and West 96th Street. I end up in the Upper East Side of New York. By this point, my phone has died. I am all by myself. I don't know where I am. I come up and things seem kind of familiar So I'm like, maybe if I just keep walking up 96th, I will be just fine. You cannot do that, as I found out, unless you go through Central Park. So I walk all the way up East 96th and just end up hitting Central Park. I'm so hard-headed that I don't stop anywhere to charge my phone or ask for directions. I just like stay lost. I know my mom is worried sick about me because it's been about an hour since she had called me and my phone's been dead for about 45 minutes. So she doesn't know where I am, she doesn't know how to contact me. I'm looking for a place to just sit down and eat and get warm. It's gone from snowing outside to like slush to like rain. It was dark out, it's about 8 o'clock at this point. The only places that I could find to eat were delis that didn't have anywhere to sit down and pizza places that also didn't have anywhere to sit down. The Starbucks have been left behind me. I am pretty lost at this point. I'm very lost at this point. And I walk by Mount Sinai Hospital, and it's been maybe an hour and a half since my phone died. Nobody really knows where I am. I'm a little worried I'm gonna get kidnapped or something. I look lost. I look like a tourist. So I finally hail a taxi cab. I get in the cab and I am so stressed out. I'm exhausted. It had been the longest day. I was very lost and my phone was very dead. And I get into the taxi, and the taxi driver's name is Moses. And Moses is the nicest man I maybe have ever met. He is from Senegal, and he immediately starts talking to me about all of the wonderful things about life. He tells me that life is too short to be crying and to be upset, and that you should be laughing and you should be happy in life. Life is too short to be worrying and to be stressed and to be crying, that you need to be happy and laughing. He's telling me this and he's just like slowly brightening my day more and more and more. And it's like I had gotten into the taxi and it's like he parted the sea that was Central Park and driven me to my promised land. It wasn't until later, whenever I had gotten out of the taxi and I had charged my phone and I called my mom, and she thought I was dead. She was certain. She hadn't heard from me for like 2 hours. And she told me that she prayed, that she was worried, so she prayed. And I'm not a religious person, but I was raised Methodist. So I know some of the biblical stories. And I told my mom that my savior, the guy who was driving the taxi, that his name was Moses, and that he was telling me all of these valuable life lessons about being happy and not being stressed about things, and to not allow life to suck all your happiness out of you, that you need to find the happiness in life. And Moses was telling me that he had a job before, but that he wasn't happy in that job, so he quit and he traveled the world for a while, and then he came back to New York to drive taxis. And whenever I told my mom that my savior's name was Moses, it all clicked. That Moses in the Bible was a man who, he was a prophet who parted the seas to lead his people to their refuge and to their safety. That he had been by the king's side, and that he had left this job and this higher status in order to help people and to make them feel better and to lead them to their refuge. That he had been gone for a while, and then he had heard this message and come back and was someone who led people to their salvation. And my mother had prayed, and Moses had arrived and taken me home. And it's very spooky to think about that. It really felt like in that moment it was something biblical, that it was a miracle or a savior that I had encountered, a prophet who had arrived to tell me that I was going to be okay and was there to keep me safe. That's the end of my story. As for the face mask, I really liked it. I liked the creamy, fluffy texture. It felt very moisturizing. I put on my regular moisturizer and I'm ready for sleep now. I liked the banana-y smell of it. I can still kind of smell it on my skin. Once again, this is the Sephora Banana Cream Mask. I would rate it I'd say a 7 out of 10 for the fluffiness. I wish it was a little bit more hydrating, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will have a video for my new things recap tomorrow, actually. And you guys can also check out this video, it'll be linked, and then I will also be linking some of my other recap videos at the end of this. Thank you guys, bye.